Shalom Aleichem to everybody, and it is wonderful to get together again this week to discuss Torah and to exchange ideas, ask questions, and try to give answers. And that's what Torah is all about, to grow, to get more and more knowledge, more understanding, more depth in Judaism, more depth in Torah, more depth about Hashem. And that's what we do on this gathering every week, Baruch Hashem. So we're talking about this week about the Korban Pesach. This week's parasha talks about Jews leaving Egypt. They left Egypt in this week's parasha, right? The third portion of the Exodus. And they went out with the mitzvah of Korban Pesach, we call it the Paschal Lamb, that they sacrificed in Egypt. By the way, something very interesting that the Chaim Mintz says, that Hashem took everybody for a trip to Israel. They took time out in Egypt. They had to bring the sacrifice. Sacrifices are done in Yerushalayim. He took everybody for a few hours there to Israel. They did the Pesach and came back to Egypt again. But that's what one Medrash says. And with this sacrifice, the lamb that they sacrificed, this is what one of the main things that they did that took them out of Egypt, that most important part of Jewish history. On the way to accept the Torah on Mount Sinai, there was one kind of idea. Leave Egypt, go to Mount Sinai, get the Torah. That was the purpose of leaving Egypt, not just because to be free people. That was not the idea of going out of Mitzrayim. Even though people celebrate the holiday of Passover, Pesach, because it's our time of our freedom. But it's time of our freedom for us to be able to accept the Torah on Mount Sinai. So we want to discuss tonight what was the significance of the Korban Pesach, of this Paschal Lamb that they sacrificed, that in that was the tools and the things necessary to leave Egypt. Naturally, we want just the information itself to know, but it's important for us to know because we want to leave our Golos also. We want to also go back to the land of Israel and go away from all the four corners of the earth the Jews are living in and be gathered together and go back to Israel. Maybe we get some ideas from the Korban Pesach, how that got them back. Maybe we can use that for us to get us back. Definitely, that's the case. So number one, the Korban Pesach was very unique, different than all other sacrifices that the Jews brought in the Holy Temple later on, because the Korban Pesach had to have a togetherness, people make reservations to be together on the Korban Pesach. Everybody had their little group of people, family, friends, neighbors, that they all pitched in and gave their money to buy the Korban Pesach, and it was made for groups of people together, so togetherness of the Jewish people. God chose us to be his nation, started out seriously in going out of Egypt on the way to the Torah, but the only way that could have happened was if we have the nation of the Jewish people together. It's not only a nation together, it's a family together, one family. Hashem says, I want to be your God. I want to be together with you for eternally. We'll be together, but you must be together with each other. If you're together with each other, then together with me. Then we're all together, one happy, close-knit family. And the Korban Pesach represented that because they was not be able to bring the Korban Pesach a person individually. He had to have others together with him to eat the Korban Pesach together, to sit down together in one, buy it together, slaughtered together in the name of everybody, and they sat out together as one group to eat the Korban Pesach that night. You were not allowed to leave to take the Pesach with you out of that gathering of the people that already registered to be on the Pesach together. And this was to show the togetherness of the Jews. We're going out of Egypt, becoming a nation, God's nation. We have to be together as one, because Hashem is perfect and he demands perfection. And no, not one Jew is perfect by himself. We have to be together with others. And we are considered perfect in other ways when we connect with people who have that which we're looking for, which we need. We might not everybody in the Jewish nation has something special about himself, and when we're together, we all one nation, and we will all enjoy the specialty of every Jew. And the Kodesh Baruch Hu says, I want you to be one nation because I'm perfect, and I'll be together with you as one nation, because everybody together represents each person something special about him, and by being together, everybody's special. Just like our hand has a foot has a hand, the eye has an ear. It's all one body. Every good thing about every Jew, if we're together, every Jew has that good thing about them, because we're all one body together. And that's what we're supposed to concentrate on when we learn about the Korban Pesach. And we want Hashem to bring the Oorah and wants it to redeem us. It won't happen unless there is a togetherness with the Jewish people. And we have to concentrate on that and take it seriously. How do we do that? Well, we have to kamarcha. We have to love every Jewish person and realize their greatness of it. Each individual Jewish person has a special neshama, special soul, which connects them to Hashem. Every Jewish person has a special neshama, even though every person in the world has a neshama, but the Jewish people have a holy neshama more than any other nation in the world, and that neshama connects with Hashem, and we have to realize and see it, and see the greatness of every Jewish person. Every Jewish person is considered adbonim, or children of Hashem, and we have to realize their special thing about every Jewish person, to recognize it and to feel it and act like we understand it by talking the way we should about other people, not gossiping. It's all part of being one nation, togetherness. Not gossiping about the other people, and helping each other, giving money for people who are needy. We have all opportunities to give charity to one another. Different organizations who help out people who need food or need help in all different ways. We have to show that we're a part of the Jewish nation. We have to open up our hearts and our pockets to help other Jewish people who are in need. And this is part of what we're supposed to learn from the Korban Pesach. We learn from the Pesach, we're all one nation, we're together. And part of that is, according to the great commentaries, the Korban Pesach was broiled. It was not cooked. The meat that they ate could not be cooked. It had to be broiled. Cooking, the more you cook meat, the more softer it gets and starts falling apart. The more you broil something, it gets harder and more together. And since the Korban Pesach represented togetherness, oneness of Jewish people, that's why it was a mitzvah to eat it tzli, to be the broiled over the open fire. And of course, it tasted very good, naturally, but it was not allowed to be cooked. It had to be broiled, because the idea of the Korban Pesach was to show the unity of the Jewish people, the togetherness, the oneness of the Jewish nation, each one of us with the other person. And so that was number one, which was so important about the Korban Pesach, that allowed us to leave Egypt, since the Jewish people were very much together and loving feeling between them, which is totally necessary for Hashem to bring us out from Golus. That Golus and any Golus we want to leave, there has to be a togetherness. So that was represented by the Korban Pesach. And of course, they took the blood, they slaughtered the Korban Pesach, took the blood, and put it on the doorposts, two sides, and the above the two doorposts of the border across like a ches. And every Jewish house, they put the blood on the doorpost. When the person went into his house, to think about, it's not, I'm not by myself, I'm living in this house, but we're all one nation together. And to remind us, I don't know how long the blood stayed on the doorpost, how long it lasted, because they left each of them anyway. But that was a sign of, we have to realize that the blood of the Korban Pesach represents unity, oneness of the Jewish people. And that's what was necessary for us to be able to leave. And number two, that the Jewish people were influenced by the Egyptian culture, that they lived so many years in Egypt. Over 210 years they lived there, and they, even though they kept up very strong Jewishness, they didn't change their name, didn't change the dress code, and didn't change their language. They kept it very Jewish in many ways, but still certain ideas crept into their mind, and being in the land of Egypt, which was not a very good land, it was not a very pious land, put it that way, and there was all kinds of false ideas of idol worship was there, and all kinds of non-Jewish philosophies that they had, all kinds of magic that they believed in, and they were very into worldly things or the pleasures of the world, like the Torah tells us that later on, the Hashem says, don't act like they acted. You left the country, leave that, what you saw and picked up, leave it there, don't take it with you. Make sure that now you're Jewish people, you have a higher outlook in life, you have to have a holy life to live in. And on the way to accept the Torah, and the Torah itself, it gives a much higher standard lifestyle of our Jewish nation. So we're leaving Egypt, we're leaving the whole culture of Egypt, but it was picked up a little bit here and there, and that's why the lamb was the idol that they worshipped. The Egyptians worshipped the lamb. That was the avodah zarah, the idol worship animal that they looked at as out special, because the that month the constellations of the stars is called Sheseh. It looks like a sheep, and that's what they worshipped. Not only the sheep on here on the earth, but also in the stars. There was the form of a sheep that they felt that the month of Nisan was, and therefore they were very into it, and they had all kinds of ideas about it and philosophies about it, and they believed in it, they worshipped it, and the Jewish people were a little bit affected by it. Hashem said to you, I want you to take this lamb, which is the idol of the Egyptians, and slaughter it and show that you are divorcing yourself from all the ideas of the Egyptians. You don't want to have their lifestyle or their ideas. You want to be a Jewish holy nation and totally get rid of all connection to that culture that you were living with all those years. It wasn't so easy, but you're living in a country so for so long. That's why Hashem made so many miracles to pull out from their hearts and their minds the ideas of the Egyptians that they were open for so many years. So this is something that we in our time we have to also think to ourselves: how much are we affected? by our culture that we're living in. And I think we're very affected very much. Most Jews today are very affected by the culture they live in, which we mentioned many times, that what is considered something that people should live by in American culture and around the world. Mainly it's to give into our physical desires and make sure that we have a good life that the body enjoys. And naturally they have the money people are into. That's the like that's you made it good. If you become rich, that's considered that you're very successful in life. And where you live, the type of things that you buy and put your time into, all the physical, earthly, mundane, physical types of things that the environment we live in. And this is something that we learn this parasha now to think about. Let us pull ourselves out of this crazy philosophy of being physically happy, and that is the purpose of life. And the more money you have, the more successful you are, and the more this you have, more that, and clothes, cars, real estate, whatever that our bodily desires. Let's think to ourselves, is that really what counts? We're learning the parasha this week, the parasha boy, that Hashem said, Shech the animal. That's the animal within us. We have the animal within us. All the desires, all animalistic desires that our body has, that Hashem wants us to slaughter it, in order to get rid of it. Don't make that purpose in life, success in life, to go after all these ideas of the surroundings that we live in. And that will, let's face it, that's really what success is today. Everything that people are able to satisfy their physical needs, the more they have, the more they feel that we're successful. So let's all try to think about, number one, how to be able to get along with our fellow Jews. We get along with everybody, especially our fellow Jews. That how we look at them, how we consider them important. How do we say we think we're the most important person, or maybe the other person is also important? How we talk about other people? Do we talk about the right way, nice things about them, or we're always looking to find fault with people? And how much we're helping other people? Do we offer services? Do we just wait for someone to ask us to help, or do we offer and we don't help people without being asked even? That was the first thing we talked about, that we want to have a connection to the other Jewish people in the right way. And now is a good time in this week's parsha to think about it. That's what Hashem brought the Korban Pesach, was a Pesach, a sacrifice of togetherness. And we try to think of ourselves, what can I do a little bit more, something more together, something more to connect to another Jewish person. Maybe somebody needs a phone call, somebody's made depressed, maybe an older person that's living by themselves. Maybe maybe call them up, maybe we can help them out a little bit. Maybe go shopping with somebody who can't by themselves, they're in the firm, they can't go out and take care of themselves like they should. Maybe we should get involved with them. And of course, there are organizations that are made for this purpose. Maybe we should call the organization and ask them, maybe you can recommend somebody I can get connected to and help them. Maybe you go sometimes to hospitals and people need help, people can't feed themselves, certain difficult circumstances people are in, to offer services to help people in different ways. Sometimes even children who need help in their schoolwork, they're falling behind, they can't keep up, and they come homework. Maybe they don't have anybody to help them. Maybe they might be orphans, maybe no father, maybe the parents are not capable of helping them, maybe, and they're failing at school, they need some extra help outside of school. What a big mitzvah would be to give them some private tutoring, help them out. There's so many ways we could do that, to be involved with the togetherness of showing that one nation, and we're concerned with other people's problems, other people's concerns that they're concerned with. And that is a great mitzvah that we can be involved with. And that was necessary for the Jews to leave Egypt, that there was this togetherness, love for each other, and helping each other. And like it's saying also, to try to think to ourselves, am I really Jewish-minded? Do I have the values of a Jewish person, or am I influenced with the values of the lifestyle around us? What is important to me? Let's ask that question. Everybody listening, myself also. What is important to me? What do I really want? What is considered success? To think to ourselves, to be honest with ourselves. What's success? What's important? What do I put my time and efforts in? And this is something that some people might not want to ask, but if you want to be honest with yourself, you have to ask this question. Is something important to me? Is it money? Is it cars? Is it clothes? Is it money? Is it food? Is that what's important to me? So then I'm missing the boat. If that's what's important to me, then you're missing the boat, because all these things are mundane, physical things. They're not going to stay with us. When a person dies, no food, no cars, no clothes, no house. Grave. Of course, and the Neshama goes to Shemayim. And the Neshama goes to heaven, but there's no clothes, not physical clothes, spiritual clothes, and no food, and no physical food. It's all left down here, and it doesn't go with us. So we'll be very foolish if we come to the conclusion, what's important to me, all these things that are not important, what's considered success. If success is considered all these unimportant things, but God, we're missing the boat. We have to start realizing what life's really all about. So this parsha of the portion of reading now is really a wake-up call. Hashem saying us out of Egypt. He made the Korban Pesach. He wants us to shech, to slaughter that mundane, physical part of us, animalistic part of us, and let's be more spiritual. Let's have more of a connection to Hashem. And number 3 is that the Jewish people were really put themselves in danger when they took this Paschal lamb and they slaughtered it as a sacrifice to Hashem and put the blood on the doorposts and so on. They ate the meat that night, the mitzvah to eat the meat when it boiled over the fire. But that was dangerous because the Egyptians did not appreciate you're taking our God and slaughtering it to your God. And they were very incensed and they were very angry. The Jewish people were doing it. Matter of fact, considered a miracle that they were not attacked by the that's why Shabbos HaGodel, that we call Shabbos before Pesach, special Shabbos, because it represents that what the Jews took the idols of the Egyptians, their lambs, and took it for their service to Hashem, and they put their life on the line. Because listen to Hashem's commandment that Hashem told us that we're going to do it. Even the Egyptians were infuriated by doing it. They could have killed them. Still, the Jews had trust in Hashem that they won't be harmed by them. And they went out of the comfort zone to do the Ratzon Hashem, will of Hashem, to take that lamb and use it for a sacrifice to Hashem. And that's the third thing we have to think about. That place. They went out of their comfort zone, the serious nefesh, out of the comfort zone, that they put their life on the line and said, Hashem said to do it, we're going to do it. Even though Egyptians will be very angry, they could hit us, they could hurt us, they could kill us, we're going to do Hashem's will. And that's how we have to think ourselves. Sometimes we have to not just do what's comfortable. Sometimes we have to do things that are not comfortable, and that is why they were able to leave Egypt. The 3 things that we're talking about, the third thing. Leave our comfort zone. Sometimes, like I mentioned many times, sometimes we have to get up early in the morning to do a mitzvah. Sometimes we have to get off our relaxed in the evening in our house, and then we got a phone call and somebody needs some help. Somebody got a flat tire. Somebody needs some kind of help. We got to get up out of our comfort zone and help somebody else. Or it doesn't mean maybe going to shul, maybe during the week or on Shabbos, rather than sleep and take it easy. They have a day off from work, with days off, so let me just relax and take it easy. So, but a person who wants to be more of a holy person, like the Jews in Egypt, leaving Egypt, they're not satisfied with just giving into our body and what our body's calling for. Take it easy, enjoy yourself. That's the success by people. Just enjoy yourself. You can enjoy yourselves by doing spiritual actions. That's the real joy. And sometimes we have to go out of our comfort zone to do something, spending more money because we want to buy kosher food, or not going to Shabbos, going to work on Shabbos. We make a lot of money. That's a comfort zone. We're making money on Shabbos. We say, no, Hashem says we have to stay home and not go to work on Shabbos, not make money on Shabbos. Serious nefesh, to go against what our inner animalistic drives are pushing us to do. I would say, no, I'm going to do what Hashem wants me to do. I'm going to do what's right, what the Torah tells me to do. And these were the three. There's more to talk about more than that also, but these are three main points for the Korban Pesach that the Jews were active in order to leave Egypt. Korban Pesach would have these three features to it. There was a togetherness, the Jewish people being together, and it was a going away from the Egyptian culture and getting into Jewish culture. And number three, going out of the comfort zone, put themselves on the line to do the service of Hashem. If we'll think about these three things now this week, Shabbos will read a portion of the Torah, and we'll get into it a little bit. That'll be great. Nachas Hashem will be very happy with us that we have these higher ideas in our mind, and not just going along with the whole culture that we're surrounded by, but we'll go according to Torah culture, Hashem's culture, and we're spiritual people, we're a spiritual nation, we're close to Hashem. These three things we should take seriously: the togetherness of Jewish people, and the culture of the Jewish culture, not to be affected by the non-Jewish culture that we live in, and also do the right thing, even if it's not so comfortable, but to want to do the will of Hashem. That'll be one of the great things we could accomplish with this week's portion of the Torah.